Sometimes life doesn't just give us pain, it opens our eyes. This is the story of a 72-year-old woman named Renata, who spent her entire life being a mother, only to realize one painful truth in the end. Her own family never saw her as a mother, they saw her as a bank. And the moment she stopped giving money, her own son and daughter-in-law tried to have her declared mentally unfit. Renata was a simple, kind-hearted woman. For 3 years, she had been financially supporting her son Max and his partner Lena. Rent, groceries, furniture, monthly bills, everything was paid by her. One day, Renata casually asked, "So Max, when is the wedding?" Lena smiled and replied calmly, "We actually got married yesterday. Only special people were invited. Special people." Time froze for Renata, the woman who helped build their home, who was paying for their entire lifestyle from her pension, was not considered special. Later that evening, Renata opened Facebook. She saw the wedding photos, Lena's parents, siblings, relatives, a full celebration, a white dress, smiles everywhere. That's when she understood. This wasn't a small wedding. This was a deliberate exclusion. Just 7 days after the wedding, Lena called her again. Her voice sounded anxious. "The rent is still pending. The landlord is threatening to evict us." "You forgot to send the transfer?" Renata stayed silent for a few seconds. For the first time in her life, she chose herself. She simply said, "I only help special people." The line went quiet. That night, Renata sat down and calculated everything she had given them over the past 3 years. More than $33,000, rent, food, medical expenses, gifts, emergency loans. She asked herself one question: am I a mother? Or just an ATM? The next morning, she went to the bank. She canceled every automatic transfer, secured her accounts, and made one decision clear: the money was hers. That evening, when Renata returned home, she was shocked. Max and Lena were sitting in her living room with a lawyer. Her personal documents were spread out on the table. The lawyer looked at her and said, "We're concerned about your mental health. You've been showing signs of confusion. In other words, money stopped, mother became mentally unstable." Lena then said coldly, "Everything you have will eventually belong to us anyway." In that moment, Renata understood the truth. They weren't waiting for her happiness, they were waiting for her death. She asked them to leave immediately, changed the locks, installed security cameras, and hired an elder law attorney. But Max and Lena didn't stop. They filed a case in court claiming Renata was mentally incompetent. They brought fake witnesses. False reports even involved social services. Their goal was simple: to become her legal guardians and take control of her money. What they didn't expect was that Renata was prepared. She had an independent psychiatric evaluation, clear bank records, statements from neighbors and close friends, proof that she had been managing her life independently for decades. In the courtroom, Lena cried. Max played the role of a worried son. The judge listened carefully and asked one simple question: how can a 35-year-old man who can't pay his own rent be responsible for managing his mother's life? The psychiatrist's report was clear. Renata was completely mentally fit. The judge delivered the final decision: this is not a mental health case. This is a case of greed. The guardianship request was rejected. Renata had won. A few months later, she sold her house, moved into a modern apartment in the city, traveled across Europe, started painting classes, and donated part of her money to charities that help elderly abuse victims. Max and Lena never came back, and Renata learned one powerful lesson: any relationship that survives only on money ends the moment the money stops. If you were in Renata's place, what would you have done? Let us know in the comments. And for more real-life inspired stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next story.